Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! You guys can probably hear the wind blowing in the background, and I think it really sets the tone for what we're about to talk about on this YouTube video. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you guys have shown this YouTube channel, where I've shared stories about how I've been a fan of Descendants of Zombies for a very long time, because many of you know that I've been on YouTube for over 25 years, and that's a really long time to be creating content for YouTube. But, you know, one of the greatest honors of a YouTube creator's career is having the chance to know that they create content that inspires thousands of people. And I have gone on to create hundreds of videos that have inspired people to be more of a fan of Descendants of Zombies perhaps ever than before. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support that you've shown this YouTube channel from the very first video that was ever uploaded here about Freya Sky, Kylie Cantrell, Malia Baker, Ruby Rose Turner. I've loved talking about every single one of them because I've loved having a greater appreciation in my heart, which will forever and always be there for people who have done so much and contributed so much to this franchise. Because I know somewhere out there today, there is somebody who wants to watch a really cool Descendants of Zombies video. And I have felt more than honored to give you guys exactly what you want in terms of content, which a lot of YouTube creators don't feel the same way about. I think they just upload a video about Descendants of Zombies running anywhere from 7 to 12 minutes, and they say, okay, that's good enough, and they throw it up, never offering you insight or predictions or any form of a prediction that you could make for Descendants of Zombies' future, because it seems like these YouTube creators don't want to have anything to do in terms of a future with Descendants of Zombies. But I'm here to tell you guys something. As long as you believe in a future of Descendants of Zombies happening, so it will be. And I look forward to being right here in this chair for the rest of my life, recording videos about Descendants of Zombies, even if that's what that means, because somebody has got to take a bullet for everybody when it comes to these critics, who have a different opinion when it comes to Kylie Cantrell, Freya Sky all the time, that they can never seem to shy away from. Because I've always believed that if you're going to say something about Freya Sky or Kylie Cantrell in your YouTube videos, you should say something nice. And you should give somebody a reason to believe in what you're saying more than ever before. If you say that you're a fan of Freya Sky and you love Gold's Gone or you love Can't Fake It, then give somebody a reason to believe why you do love Freya Sky as much as what you say. I think there's more to it than just saying that you're a fan of Freya without ever giving anybody a reason to believe that you are a fan of Freya just as much as what they are. Because some of these Descendants and Zombies fans are really diehard. They will never quit on you. They will never go away. And if you can win the hearts of every fan of Descendants and Zombies, which is something really special to hold on to and believe in, if you can somehow do that, then you've truly got something to be grateful for. And I have been grateful for the opportunity to entertain each and every one of you from the very first video that was ever uploaded here. Did I think or ever imagine that this YouTube channel would go on to become such revered and be one of the most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channels of all time? The most popular Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time? Most certainly I didn't. And through understanding the product, I got to know your favorite stars better than anybody else ever could. Everything they were struggling with, their identity, how they felt in a society that sometimes was very difficult to achieve acceptance in, because I know Kylie Cantrell was doubting if she was good enough. I know Meg Donnelly was feeling the same way, and I remember watching all these interviews early on in their careers where they were doubting their ability to entertain each and every one of us, and I thought to myself, you know, given how talented Meg Donnelly truly is and everything she's contributed to the Zombies franchise, don't you think we should take more of a chance on her and believe in her more than ever before? It's something that I think that once you realize just how much this role meant to her, being Addison Wells in Zombies, I think it's something that you always and forever will take a greater appreciation away from. And when you talk about Kylie Cantrell having the opportunity to don the character Red and bring this character to life in such an unbelievable way, it is truly incredible to see how far Kylie Cantrell has come with this character and the places she has gone ever since she realized how special Red was. The thing that I always wished that Kylie Cantrell, or was hoping that Kylie Cantrell was going to take away from this character, given how emotional of a person Kylie was that Red never really cared what anybody thought of her. She was really a fearless type individual. She was always in your face. She was always against her mom's desire to keep the rabbit hole closed for forever because she was experiencing some antisocial moment where she wanted to keep the rabbit hole closed off from the rest of Oregon. She didn't want anybody in Wonderland to make friends with anybody from the outside. So the thing that I was hoping that Kylie Cantrell was going to take away from Red was that you should never really care what anybody thinks rest of you. You should just focus on your career and what matters most. And what matters most is each and every one of you. Because the one thing that Kylie Control will forever and always have is each and every one of us. Every single time she cries and she misses her friends, her greatest friends came in the form of Descendants of Zombies fandom, because you guys have forever and always been supportive of Kylie Control. You have never ever quit on her, and that's what makes these moments so special, and that's what's made every video that I've gone on to upload about Kylie Control and Freya Sky so special, because somewhere, somehow, every video that I've ever gone on to upload has resonated with so many wonderful people who love Descendants of Zombies so much. That's precisely why over 3,500 plus people have hit my subscribe button. That's why we're celebrating 100,000 channel views this week, and we're celebrating the 30th birthday of Dove Cameron, because you guys have made these moments so special. I remember years ago when Dove Cameron would connect with her audience more than any Disney star had ever taken the chance to connect with an audience, and I remember how appreciative you guys were of that. And I knew from how Dove Cameron could connect with each and every one of you that this franchise was going to go on to become something special. And many of you may not know this, but I'm a really big fan of Sophia Carson too, because of how she can connect with each and every one of you too. She is somebody who often resonates with every fan of Descendants of Zombies, and she is so appreciative of all these wonderful moments. But I have to tell you guys, my favorite Descendants character of all time has been as much time as I could spend talking about every individual character, and I can go on for forever about this character or that character. It would have to be Ruby Rose Turner. I've been crushing on Ruby for at least the last 10 years. Ruby will be 20 years old this year. I believe she's 20 years old actually this past October, so she'll be 21 this year. And ever since I saw Ruby for the first time ever, I knew she was going to go on and become something special. She was really going to steal your hearts, and there was never any doubt in my mind that Ruby was just a genuinely sweet person. For how she inspired people to believe in their dreams, she encouraged everybody to believe in themselves, and she demonstrated how much further kindness could really take a person. And that's how I knew from that moment on, from the very first time I ever saw her don the character Bridget, and how special that character would go on to mean to Ruby, I knew she was going to be my favorite character. And that's why I've gone on to upload hundreds of videos about Ruby Rose Turner more than any other Descendants character of all time, because yes, Jonathan Clarke really does miss Ruby Rose Turner. So much so that I would go on to upload hundreds of videos about Ruby, believing her story was far from having been told and completed in this franchise, because there is so much to believe in when it comes to seeing a reemergence of a character, because I've always believed that nobody's story is ever really told and completed, and everybody who believes in a story never having been told and completed has something special to hold on to, because I know that I'm not the only fan of Ruby Rose Turner out there. I'm not the only guy who has ever uploaded a video about Ruby, but there was just something so special about Ruby that I think we could all take a chance on, and oftentimes we could relate to. The song Life is Sweeter When You Are blew up instantly on YouTube Music, and the reason why it blew up so instantly on YouTube Music, it was a bubblegum type song that really instantly gets stuck inside your head. And the reason why it gets stuck inside your head is because of how much you could relate to every star who was featured in that music video. Red was there, Chloe was there, and of course Ruby was there, because Ruby really realized that the only thing you ever really need in this lifetime is probably one good friend, perhaps. Remember how her only good friend was Ella. The only friend she ever needed was Ella, because she realized how Ella had been there for her every step of the way. And I think that a lot of us kind of related to Ruby because of how Ella was her only friend, because she realized that was the only friend she ever needed. And that's what made it so special for Ruby, was that Ruby was able to find her place in the Descendants franchise as the Bridget character because of what she believed in. She also had this really cool song called Shuffle of Love. I've often wondered how these Descendants stars can listen to music at the same time wearing a headset and, put off such great performances like they do. Do you guys ever experience when you're like walking down the street and you see these people like in stores and stuff, wearing headsets, and you say hi to them and you're wondering if they ever notice you? I've often experienced that, but I think the coolest stars ever to wear these headsets while they're performing have to be characters like Bridget, because she gave these characters such authenticity and such life. And I think there's a greater appreciation that comes from being a fan of this when you actually realize even the smallest things that make Descendants of Zombies so special to so many wonderful people. And just the appreciation these stars have for each other, how they're there for each other every step of the way, is something that I can never seem to get enough of, because years ago we never saw that from the High School Musical or Hannah Montana franchises, but we're seeing it we're getting it with Descendants of Zombies. So because we're getting it with Descendants of Zombies, it almost really helps us put into perspective how far these franchises have come with their powerful messages and these new messages that are being picked up on by so many different age demographics that they're learning from. I've also wanted to educate a lot of people with Descendants of Zombies, so I wanted to, have a lot of fun facts in my videos about, soda plantations and chemical plants that could explode, because one should never believe that the chances of a zombie apocalypse will never ever happen. Because at any given moment, a soda plantation could explode. That's why I've taken the liberty to move into a residence that's actually 5 minutes away from a soda plantation and a chemical plant. I know what you're saying to yourself, hey Jonathan Clarke, that sounds really messed up. Why would you even do that? Well, in order for one to upload a video about Descendants of Zombies, he or she not only has to talk about Descendants of Zombies in that video, they have to live their life like Descendants of Zombies. Because Descendants of Zombies really has become a ride or die for a lot of people. Without Descendants of Zombies, I don't know where I'd be. And I'm sure you guys feel the same way. I know you were all excited with the Worlds Collide Tour this past summer. So excited to go out and spend that night, that one evening with your favorite Descendants of Zombies stars, spend all this money on Descendants of Zombies merch. It was a moment in time that should have been appreciated. And I really wish that the critics who went home after every performance was given on their YouTube channels and would have looked at it that way. I seem to be the only guy on YouTube who had a greater appreciation for the Worlds Collide Tour. How somebody would say on a YouTube video that this tour was awesome without ever offering us an explanation as to why the tour was awesome really didn't tell me a whole lot about it. They would just turn on their microphone. They would turn on their camera. Every time the live switch would go live, would go green. They would just say their honest opinion about the Worlds Collide Tour instead of putting over these stars the way that they should have been put over. One performer I will never ever forget was Kylie Cantrell, because of how Kylie Cantrell always said that dreams can happen for everybody. The second will be Freya Sky, because Freya Sky was just so emotionally overcome with these opportunities to perform in front of each and every one of you. The one thing I noticed about Freya's performances were, thank you so much for allowing me to spend these moments with each and every one of you, moments that I will never ever forget. I never ever forgot that quote from Freya. I'll often resonate with that quote, and I'll resonate with quotes of your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars, because there is only one you. There is ever only one you. And the thing is, if Freya puts her heart into every video, every music video, every performance that she ever does, then I think more of us can find time in appreciating how much Freya Sky has gone on to mean to each and every one of our hearts. Because undeniably, people like Freya Sky have gone on to hold a very special place in our hearts, and she will never ever be forgotten for her contributions. And that is exactly what I've always wanted to see happen for your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars. One can choose to come down hard on people like Kylie Cantrell for her political point of view, her relationship status, but in all honesty, guys, there is no place in any conversation having anything to do with constructive criticism, any form of criticism at all, because that doesn't give your favorite stars much of a chance. And if I was ever going to say anything nice at all about your favorite stars, I was going to give them more of a chance than perhaps ever before. This is so fun. To have the honor of recording hundreds of videos about Descendants of Zombies for so many wonderful people, because you can get away with touching everybody's heart. Because they see the value in your video, they see the appreciation coming from your heart when it comes to Descendants of Zombies, and you have the honor of meeting and engaging with so many wonderful people who feel very differently about Descendants of Zombies, because everybody feels differently about their favorite stars and all these incredible moments. Because I just started uploading videos about Descendants of Zombies at random. I had no idea this YouTube channel was going to explode overnight, and it most certainly did. It went on to exceed all of my expectations as a YouTube creator. I've had so much fun having the honor of meeting you guys and understanding you for the fans that you are, and I look forward to spending the future and sharing in the future with each and every one of you, because there is a future in store for Descendants of Zombies. In terms of release windows, what we're looking at is anywhere between 2026 and 2028 when it comes to zombies. That should bring you up to speed. But even if it does mean it's only 3 years before Now in Zombies happens again, I will just have to upload videos about Descendants of Zombies for the rest of my life, because I know how much Zombies has meant to each and every one of you, and I think Zombies should forever and always hold a very special place in your heart. And I'm the only guy crazy enough to make hundreds of videos about Descendants of Zombies and live in a soda plantation chemical plant residency, which I think many more YouTube creators should take themselves up on the chance to do. I wish more YouTube creators would go in as depth as what I do about your favorite stars, because there is no guy on YouTube who seems to know more about your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars than what I do. I know everything from Meg Donnelly's favorite color to how she doesn't like horror movies and she always loved romances and superhero movies. I know everything there is to know, because how are you supposed to have a greater appreciation for your audience or ever understand your audience if you don't know what there is to know about your favorite stars? I think that the moments that we share in are moments we should take full advantage of. And I've loved taking full advantage of these moments with each and every one of you. And I really can't believe that I've had 3,530 people subscribe here to this YouTube channel. The numbers are always going up here on this YouTube channel, and it's very difficult for me to keep track of. And in terms of a zombie special, for those of you wondering what's next on the calendar for zombies, sometime between now and the lateral part of 2026, apart from the Worlds Collide Tour Leg 2 happening, we've got a rumor of a special happening for zombies. I think this one is going to be animated. So because this one is going to be animated, that means that your favorite Descendants of Zombie stars will lend their voices to the soundtrack of the voices of the characters. They've animated zombies before. Well, now apparently they're going to run it back. We don't have any additional information on this. Apparently it's going to be called Fang Flame. I know that's a very difficult title to run off the back of your tongue. But as soon as more information becomes available for this one, which is not expected to drop until late 2026, I will have more info for you guys on this, because I'm really excited about this too, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. I've had a greater appreciation for people who always lend their voices to soundtracks. I can never seem to see enough of this. I've always wanted to be one of those guys that gets the opportunity to go in the sound booth and tell you how he truly feels about bringing a character to life. I'll let you guys in a little secret. I always wanted to be the character Olaf in the Frozen franchise, because there was just something about a snowman wanting to be embraced by warm hugs and feel warmth in his heart that really was intriguing to me. Or I always wanted to be the voice of Rapunzel's horse, or noble steed Maximus, from the animated Tangle back in 2010. I know there are a lot of people out there who have subscribed to this YouTube channel for whatever reason you found my YouTube channel. Maybe because you were a fan of Phineas and Ferb and you wanted to spend 104 days of summer vacation building inventions in your backyard. Come to think of it, I've always wanted to build a time machine or a roller coaster in my backyard. I can't say that I've ever gotten around to doing it, but I would love to take myself up on the opportunity to do this kind of thing. And after many years of being a fan of the Vampire Diaries and Twilight, which people were really crazy about years ago, you guys wouldn't have wanted to have to live through that. Maybe some of you are young enough to remember how popular Twilight was and how everybody was so raved about it. I would love the opportunity to be, something like a Vampire Slayer, the Zombies franchise, because there's always an opportunity to introduce new and innovative characters into a franchise that has truly gone on to captivate millions of people. There are 10 million people on social media platforms all across social media who love Descendants of Zombies so much. So there's a greater appreciation to be had when talking about Descendants of Zombies for that niche and understanding your niche and everything else that comes with it. That's why I've had so much fun. That's why I've loved living on this island that have hundreds of ghost stories associated with it, hundreds of stories about mermaids associated with it, and I will elaborate more on this later on tomorrow morning when we pick up this conversation from right where we left it off, because there's always an opportunity to have new conversations about Descendants of Zombies. There's always an opportunity to touch the hearts of whoever is a fan of Descendants of Zombies out there. And if you would like to come along with me on this incredible journey to discover your passion for Descendants of Zombies, you are more than welcome to hit that subscribe button, to hit that like button, and to ring that bell for every video that I will go on to upload. Because we still have a long way to go. We've got 6 or 7 months left until Descendants 5 Book 109 drops. So many X number of years before Zombies 5 drops, and I know it feels like forever away, but that doesn't mean that we can't get there and get there together, because I don't want to have to do this alone. You guys are the most incredibly supportive fans of all time. You're never going to quit on this YouTube channel. You're always going to hit my subscribe button, so that gives me even more incentive to keep on creating great content for you guys and reaching out and touching the hearts of some Descendants of Zombies fans out there that I have yet to touch the hearts of, even with how many that I've taken into consideration that I've touched the hearts of in every video that I've ever gone on to upload. If you are somebody who believes in Freya Sky just as much, if you are somebody who's loved Meg Donnelly and Mala Manheim's love story as the character Zen Edison, then I think just maybe this could be the YouTube channel for you. And if you've ever wanted an opportunity to believe in something that is so special, this is your chance, because we still have a long way to go, because these stories are far from over. I've never necessarily bought in to what these critics have had to say about Descendants of Zombies, because I don't know if I've ever believed it, because everybody has a different opinion when it comes to Descendants of Zombies. There are people who will forever and always try to tear down the credibility of what you guys have worked so desperately to try to build up and maintain. And over this last 7 years, I've had so much fun talking about the Zombies franchise, living my life in fear of my soda plantation and my nearby chemical plant simultaneously exploding. Who wouldn't want to take themselves on the opportunity to do just that, or to touch the heart of every fan of Descendants of Zombies out there. Thank you so much. Just as sure as the sun is setting in the background there behind me, we've still got a long way to go, guys, and we have so many more conversations we have yet to experience together when it comes to Descendants of Zombies. Thank you so much, having said this, for having made it your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time. It's been my honor to create so many wonderful videos that have gone on to inspire thousands of people and touch each and every one of your hearts in some way or some form. Thank you so much for allowing me to have been your voice of Descendants of Zombies and represented you as your voice of Descendants of Zombies into this unforeseeable future, because we don't know what's coming next. But you know something? What's so exciting about the future is that we don't know. Because if we did know, we wouldn't really have that much to be excited about. But because we don't know, that's what makes the future of Descendants of Zombies so intriguing. And I have never felt more honored to be a part of it with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for having made this your favorite Descendants of Zombies YouTube channel of all time, and welcome me as a part of your life as your voice of Descendants of Zombies. We will pick this conversation up right where we left off tomorrow morning, bright and early, where I'll have a lot to say where Descendants of Zombies goes. So if you have not subscribed here, you're probably going to want to do that. Thank you so much for having watched this video and celebrated all these wonderful moments with yours truly.